Good evening, everybody. This is Casual Summer Hours, episode 26 of the Fingerpod of Doom. The most casual summer hour wrestling show you'll ever listen to.
So casual.
And my hair's so long that I've got it in a Seth Rollins like pony promo pony. What do you think?
Yeah, do the Daniel Bryan next time. Put it way up here. I like it. That's very long. I did not know.
Not doing that. The Daniel Bryan. I prefer Bryan Danielson.
True.
I prefer the American Dragon.
You can kick your family. Okay.
Yeah. Whoa.
don't do that.
Just the dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big week, massive week. We just got to plug the old mobile phone in. The massive week in the wrestling. In one company anyway. Not really sure what the fuck goes on in the other one, but anyways.
Somebody asked for the release. That's about it.
The righteous. The righteous. Yeah, they asked for their release, and there was others that didn't. So let's get into it. Now, I got to thinking about this list after a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, the people that are getting, bent out of shape about it online are just creeps who are, think they have a parasocial relationship with these wrestlers.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, let's just go through it here.
Yeah. You're right, though. It is creepy.
It is, right? Like, okay, so here's the full list. Shayna Baszler. What can we say about Shayna Baszler?
She was great in NXT, but just never hit on the main. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it almost felt like a Ronda Rousey leftover in some instances.
Yeah.
I would assume, I would assume her beef with Jade didn't help her cause, to be honest. Which is unfortunate because, Jade's talent isn't there. Shayna has the talent. Jade's marketable. Shayna isn't, right? I guess you weigh it here.
Yeah. Put him in a tag.
Oh boy.
That's how the old days would be.
That's true, yeah. That is very true. Braun Strowman. Now, this one I was kind of shocked by just because of what he recently just did with Bronson Reed and then Jacob Fatu. And he got them more over than probably anyone else in that company could have or been willing to at the time. Very legitimately helped them get to that next level, I believe. Especially in those two last man standing matches.
Yeah, big time.
That being said, when you give a guy who can't move a gimmick where he has to run around the ring and physically looks in pain when he's doing it, right? Like, come on.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
And if his contract is so high, because I've heard that, second time around as well, he's one of the higher contracts. It's like, don't pay him as much then.
Yeah, that's what Meltzer was saying. That's what a few people have said, was that he did have a pretty hefty payday. So
yeah,
that being coupled on not being able to move, it's like, okay, well, here you go. You've made your millions. Go get double knee surgery. Work out, relax, get healthy. Maybe they bring him back on a lesser number. Hard to say. I don't know what he could he have a run in AEW, putting guys like maybe Powerhouse Hobbs over? Sure.
Even as a bodyguard at first too, I could see they've done stranger things.
Yeah, but and Tony will pay him if he's still looking for that big payday. Then maybe that's where you go. I don't know. Seriously, still pays. He still fucking pays Big Show.
For what? Yeah.
He's the Ring of Honor commissioner or something, or whatever he is, right?
Honestly.
Moving along. Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
This was one where I think probably came as a shock to more people in the company. But being so injury prone didn't help her cause here.
Yeah.
Right. She was being pushed. She was, in a, lots of the title matches, but she'd get in, get injured. Then she'd come back, back into the mix, get injured.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost, another case of, okay, go get healthy. Maybe
ease your schedule.
Yeah, do 5 years or something and tour the world. Do the indies. Work your ass off. And I think probably Cora Jade falls into that same vein of maybe being a little injury prone.
Yeah.
That being said, Cora Jade could probably make millions of dollars doing OnlyFans.
Yeah. And weird how she brought up body shaming.
Yeah.
At the performance center. And I was trying to think, like, you're in great shape.
Build a mod ain't there.
Work done. Yeah. So you went to another gym because of who then? Everybody else? No one else has mentioned that about the new regime there. I don't know.
Didn't Gigi Dolan mention something about it too? Kind of piggybacked onto the tweet.
Okay, so maybe there is an issue there.
You would think that you'd have heard about it more often than these two people who were just randomly released, though.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be Sean. Like, what is it, H. Albert going crazy or what? Stepping in. Norman Smiley getting a little handsy at it.
Somebody call his mama.
Yeah. Gross.
Same with Jakara Jackson, right? Like, you were obviously the weak link in the Meta Girls, but I'm sure you'll do just fine in OnlyFans.
Yeah. Very pretty.
Yeah. Those two, good looking young women with bolt-ons that are still in good shape, right? They'll do just fine.
Yeah.
Eddie Thorpe. Next. Katana Chance and Caden Carter.
That was weird to me.
That's weird because, they're trying to build some resemblance of a women's tag division, and they were at least entertaining. I think I could probably see that one who, with the colorful hair.
Yeah.
I could probably see her being back down the line. I don't know if the American Gladiator or whatever the other chick was.
Yeah.
Would be back.
Yeah, and the funky hair, I forget which name is who, but she was really cool coming up. I just remember like the little bit of a not competition, but NXT, I guess, talking about how she was like a part Filipino and she had personality. And in the tag, it just seemed to be mushed with the other one. Like, you two are fun party girls. Yeah.
And they could only handle one Filipino at the time, probably.
Honestly, yeah.
The rest, Shotzi was, to be honest, didn't know she was still employed. I thought she was just doing that YouTube thing with Scarlett. So Gigi Dolan was also kind of shocking since she was just transitioning to TNA. Like, regardless, half of these people are going to end up in TNA anyways, which is an offshoot of WWE, which they're just going to all of a sudden appear on NXT as a TNA talent in 6 months anyways.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell me Cora Jade already probably hasn't signed.
Which, I mean,
like,
she was just there. Like,
yeah,
most of these girls were just there.
As a verbal, right? As a non, right? Because they all have non-competes, so. Gallus, I don't think I had seen either of those guys since before the New Year's NXT episode.
Yeah, they've been on Evolve, which is strange.
I think they have talent. I don't know.
Older though, yeah.
Yeah, older for sure. And the one guy was a manager, like a 50-year-old manager. He looked like so. He looked like Shane Douglas when he was hurt in ECW.
Ballooned right up.
And he was walking around with his fucking arm all. Remember that in that big cast?
Yeah.
Lifting Francine's fucking ass up into his face, carrying her around.
He puffed up big there for a bit.
Like Eddie, he kind of looked like Eddie Gilbert. The rest of these people I don't really know. Oro Mensah, I don't remember the last time I seen him. I don't even know who Danny Palmer is or Riley Osborne. So
yeah, they were just like very Chase U-y, barely behind the scenes.
Yeah. Or Luca Crucifino. Don't know who that is.
That's the other one in the D'Angelo family.
This is Danny Palmer. The one who got killed in the desert? Really? They literally killed him off TV.
But then Tony mentioned him again, so I don't know. Like, Tony, not everything you read is, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what happened to Luca because he's been all over Evolve too.
Well, that's how the internet works because people thought Chelsea Green was released. It's like, come on. They're not releasing Chelsea Green.
No, that would be so stupid.
She's grieving. That would be you would get legitimate backlash for doing that.
Yeah. If anything, she's moving up. Like, holy talent.
Yeah, she'll be going. She dropped the U.S. title so she could go after Tiffany.
Yeah, that would be so good.
So she could get thrown into that. Yeah, 100%. Right, and then everyone's blaming Hunter, like, I can't believe he'd do that. It's like, well, of course he gets the final say, but it's like,
yeah,
you can't just, it's a business. You're not going to pay somebody to sit at home unless you're an actual legitimate draw. Are any of these people making money? No, goodbye.
And most of the time, this helps their career. They go and make something of themselves if they're worth it.
That's right. Like, look what Dijak's doing even. Or Dijak.
Yeah.
Killing it on the indies. Kind of reinvented himself. He's got this very, like, Blade kind of look to him. Red light, kind of like disco techie entrances, it seems. And I like Dijak. I didn't like that he was released, to be honest. But
yeah. But he isn't crying.
Somehow Dijak was released, but that other fucking guy isn't. Briggs or whatever.
And both of those. Yeah. Briggs and the other. Yeah. No thanks. There's still a lot they could cut. And then you're right. He does look like the bad guy, but that's how it works. That's how the business works.
Mm-hmm. If you get fired from your job, guess who looks like the bad guy? Your boss. Guess who you make the bad guy out to be when you have a conversation with your friends, your boss, right? It's just part of business.
Yeah. At least he's not holding them hostage.
Yeah, there you go. In other news, let's go to this first. Face of the women's division isn't gone for long, which is good. Just wanted to touch on this. May 16th. It appears filming is done, and she'll be back in the US the following day. So the 16th is Friday. She'll be on Raw Monday the 19th. Guaranteed.
Nice. Yeah, when I saw the movie title, I'm like, that won't take long to film.
No. And it's definitely not a major motion picture. Whoever fucking...
Breaking news.
Yeah. Straight to DVD. It'll be on page 6 of Netflix. Christ.
Honestly.
Here's something fun that will be a shock to nobody. Duke the Dumpster Drosy indicted on charge of attempted aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor. You don't say a garbage man.
Time to take out the trash. Like, oh no, what happened? Oh.
Whatever his theme was, it sounds like a Jim Johnson riff.
Yeah. Yikes, eh? He's looking scary too, though. He is.
Yeah.
Holy.
I thought that was funny. He's had a whiskey or two. I'm not going to read all this, right? He's, bail set at $10,000 only for exploitation of a minor in whatever fucking state this is.
Which is insane.
Warren County. Where is Warren County?
Indiana?
And Tennessee. Jesus Christ.
Tennessee whiskey.
In other news,
what?
Shelton Benjamin responds to this dipshit Hulk Hogan about calling him Benjamin Shelton not once, but twice. Billy Lindsay.
Yeah, Billy Lindsay. Clearly, Hogan really wanted to talk up his favorite wrestler, his favorite mat wrestler.
First of all, you seen the video, obviously. The Bischoff and Hogan video, how they're trying to be NWO.
It was bad. It was like old man.
Yeah,
old
like
man
you guys are
cool.
Yeah, nothing in here but a couple of elephant skin rugs.
Oh God!
Right, like he looked like the huckster.
Yes.
He literally looked like the huckster.
The blonde wig, everything.
From that 1995 commercial.
Yeah, him and Nacho Man or whatever.
Yeah, let's pull that up. I'm going to pull that up. Over here.
Because for real, like, it was the fake, really bad white hair, I should say, the mustache. It was just an embarrassing video. I thought Bischoff isn't like cool anymore. So it came off really bad.
They're both fucking 70 years old, right?
Yeah.
Here we go, the huckster. Jeez, yeah, that was literally him in that
same saggy tits and everything.
Same, yeah. But first of all, who told them that this is going to be a draw for money?
Mat wrestling.
This is shoot style mat wrestling, but they're booking it still? Is my understanding?
Yeah, it's confusing. And they all have personalities, brother. What?
Not to mention
Big Ten or what?
Yeah, not to mention the World Wrestling Federation couldn't market Gable Steveson.
Yeah.
And these two jabronis think that they're going to?
Yeah.
Not to mention they have a television deal apparently in the works. And a pay-per-view on July 4th.
Wouldn't it be crazy if Vince, you know how he was
Is
getting
the
that
third
production crew
man?
together?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well, the
yeah,
third
we
man
tricked
is
all
some
along.
random
Coach or whatever, eh?
yeah, wrestling coach, right? None of this,
Yeah.
it just doesn't make any sense. I
It
don't
doesn't scream
understand.
fun.
Well, no. And then Hogan, promoting this talks about how he's wrestled all the best mat wrestlers, dude. I fought Brock Lesnar when he came out of the UFC, Jack. Like, no, you didn't.
No, that was a
You never
long.
did. You were not the first one to wrestle Brock Lesnar when he left the UFC.
I love his reality though. He's so confident about it.
He
He's not
is.
gonna make this. He's just in a
Like, he
in a
tries to
whole
think
other
that he's
world.
going to make Shelton Benjamin believe that his name is Benjamin Shelton.
Yeah, it'll fine. I'll go by that. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, obviously doesn't go over well with him or MVP about the old don't get caught kind of speech that he said too, right? It's just.
Yeah. Don't you think if people wanted to watch this, they would watch Big 10 or Big 12, whatever it is, however many schools are in there
Legitimate
on TV? Yeah.
NCAA wrestling, where guys like Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar came from. Yeah, you would think.
Not the leftovers who can't make it there.
Not shoot wrestling, but is somehow booked.
I
Okay,
kind of want to watch
shoot the half on this guy, and then he's gonna no sell it, dude, and then he's gonna get up and he's gonna drop a leg drop on you, brother. Not my leg drop though, Nia Jax's.
Don't you want to watch just to see the train wreck? The first one, it's gonna be so bad.
If I can find it for free somewhere online, I will attempt to watch it.
Yeah. Because Hogan promoted midget wrestling before too.
That's right.
That was that didn't go over well.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to promote. He just doesn't know how to promote.
And they're like, yeah. I can't imagine WWE is going to want anything left to do with Hulk Hogan after this flops.
No.
So I don't know what else to say about that. Short of Benjamin Shelton says, keep my name out of your fucking mouth. Which is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
MVP also called him a pathological lying piece of human excrement. So
kept it professional.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Becky Lynch called Hogan a scummy person after on the Sam Roberts pod. She answered a question about being called Becky Hogan.
Yeah, didn't like that.
I will reserve judgment until after this Saturday. If Becky wins the IC title, she is forever known as Becky Hogan to me. There is zero world where she should win this. Zero.
Correct,
yeah, there is no reason she should win it.
Especially with all the new ladies coming up.
That's right.
Yeah.
You have Julia, you have Roxanne, you have and like I said before, I haven't watched NXT, but I would assume Steph is losing that title.
Yeah.
In some sort of multi-man match so she doesn't get pinned and is just going to be on Raw. Especially with this AAA accusation and all that, like they're going to want her more predominant.
Yeah. What a weird roster too. Like they have a very tiny roster. So
AAA.
Yeah. Even, like the original La Parka, man, is he not in shape, and he's pushing 60. Alberto, of course, fairly
Alberto
up
will
there.
not be. If Alberto appears on my WWE program, I will immediately turn it off and never watch
Yeah.
again until I know that he's been released or fired for some other fiasco.
Yeah.
I cannot
And
fucking stand that guy.
no, I feel like they'd keep him down there. For some reason, he works down there well.
He gets paid legitimate money and can be an asshole in Mexico because they're too worried about the cartel or something, probably.
Yeah, he's got to have some weird deal going with that lady, that old lady.
Paige or no? Oh no, the other lady.
Yeah, with her face pinned back.
Oh, the cartel boss. Yeah.
Something weird there.
Big time Bex. We'll get into that now. We'll go into the Raw review. So we've only got half an hour left. I don't need to go over SmackDown. And why would I? It was boring. And how about the tag match though with Pretty Deadly? What happened there? He fucking KO'd that guy. Braxium KO'd the one Pretty Deadly guy on that moonsault. That was messy.
Yeah, his face busted him open. I don't know if it's nerves or what, but
yeah, the rest of that match was messy.
It definitely threw a little pin in there, eh? That was weird.
Yeah.
As soon as his face blew up, it was just like, oh boy. Fraser's it's almost like he got, I don't know, scared or just nerves. It's weird. Axiom seems okay.
Shit happens, brother.
Yep.
So you mentioned something about Logan Paul before we went live on our weekly episodic program here today. So I will say what I'm going to say in a moment here. Jey Uso opens Raw, blows himself up more than ever before at the start of this show. Literally dripping sweat, can't catch his breath, like has probably telling Paul to keep talking because he can't even figure out the fuck he's doing. But
come on,
so
yeah.
Jay comes out, calls Logan Paul out, and the other Paul says, "Ladies and gentlemen." Basically, Paul has some things to say. And I just can't get past his like snorting. He'd be a great advocate for sleep apnea. He could sell sleep apnea machines like a motherfucker, I bet.
Honestly. The new medication that you take where you don't need it. Yeah. It's like an implant. Totally. Because he has troubles. His tan was weird.
Him and Jay had the same color skin, that's for sure. Now, for the most part, Paul, I thought, just kind of talked in circles.
Yeah.
Until he started to get heated up there at the end of it. You know, saying that Roman lost the title, that I spent 5 years of my life building up. And then he disappears, goes back home to lick his wounds, leaves him in the hands of Solo and Jacob. Tongans put me through a table and he didn't come back to avenge me. He came back for his Ulafala, but I betrayed Roman, right? Yeah. No, it's always Paul Heyman. I'm the liar. I'm at fault. I'm the betrayer. I'm the scumbag. This is the Paul Heyman we need for this faction, for this group.
Yes. And he wasn't wrong with what he was saying, right?
He wasn't wrong. What I liked about it. Not this part. No. I'm always a scumbag. Not this time. I'm right. And he was. And I thought it was funny where Jay said, "Are you okay?" After,
Like in what way?
but so then Paul says, "I owe you an apology." Basically, goes into here talking about that this title belongs to Seth Rollins. Stage one was to give Seth the control, give Seth the power, and basically get Braun on their side. Stage two was to get that title back. As soon as Paul mentioned that, I thought 100% that Triple H saw the outrage of the Logan Paul Jey Uso build that was happening.
Yeah.
And immediately called an audible and was given Seth the title.
I was so hoping. I thought so too. I was like, oh, Seth is going to win it tonight. That would have been great.
It would have, but I think it would have lost a little bit into the potential of what can happen here with this faction and this story. But as we seen later in the show, or after the show went off the air, Logan blindsided Jay again. So now I don't really know where they're going with the Logan Paul Jey Uso thing. I would assume, hopefully, only a Saturday night's main event thing. Logan Paul's only clean pin, I think, is to Roman, though.
So
I can't think of another pin.
I don't think so.
Oh, maybe the tag match when it was Priest and Bad Bunny versus Miz and Logan Paul. Priest pinned Logan, I believe. Or maybe Bad Bunny did. I can't remember. Or did Logan even get pinned?
I don't think so. I think Miz took that.
Miz take the pin for that? Certainly, Logan Paul has to have been pinned by more than just Roman Reigns, because that's embarrassing. If so, he has to.
Miz, Logan. Oh yeah, that was. I forgot. Logan and Miz defeated Ray and Dominic. Yikes!
Oof, that's what that one was.
Yeah, that was another one. See, I don't remember Paul being in a match with that. I'm trying to look that up. I know Bad Bunny and Damien took out Miz and John Morrison. This ain't no make.
Is that what it was?
I think so. Logan Paul win losses. Yeah, I think that's what that was. Because they're not fighting this weekend, are they?
No, I would assume there's probably gonna be some sort of tag with Seth and Braun versus a mixture of Punk, Sammy, and Jay. I don't know.
Yeah, because throwing Sammy in there, I was like, okay, it's something good for Sammy. I don't mind him in that role.
Yeah,
his wrestling record is 10-9.
What? Okay.
9 wins and 10 losses. I'm trying to think of how many. Like, he hasn't had that many matches, dude. I guess to LA Knight. Let me look at cage match here. I guess he has. Logan Paul defeats AJ. If you're counting, number one contender match.
Well, obviously got pinned in the chamber, yeah.
Yeah. LA Knight defeats him. LA Knight defeats him again with and then Escobar. Jeez. He's had a lot more matches than I actually thought.
Interesting.
Brutal.
Oh, I forgot Seth fought Logan Paul too at Mania. Jeez.
So he's been up there. So they could revisit that Seth Logan thing. I don't see Logan winning if they do that.
No, not a chance.
Could they add Seth?
And then especially when Jay got in right up in Paul's face and said, anytime, any place, anywhere for the World Heavyweight Championship. I thought for sure Seth was going to. Paul walks into his dressing room after and says that Jay fell for it.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of layering there. The mastermind, the visionary, the revolutionary, Seth Rollins. One thing I noticed about this episode of Monday Night Raw was there seemed to be significant more wrestling on it.
Yeah.
Like a couple matches at least. They went, instead of 3 matches, I think they had 5. So it was good.
And some good time. Yeah, like even the next match, it had some good time to it.
Yeah, Penton JD was the first match. Go ahead, though.
No, I mean, a lot of stories being woven in, too, which is good, but the wrestling itself was fun to watch.
Yeah, I thought most of the matches were fairly well done.
Yeah.
JD is a workhorse. I love watching JD wrestle.
Yeah.
When he bumps his ass off, right? He knows his role, right? He knows that, I think he knows that he's not going to be the world heavyweight champion or the world heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Could he be an IC champ? Sure.
Yeah.
But, he does what he needs to do for these other guys, and man, he bumps his ass off. And he looks good doing it.
Really, he had a good teacher, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, because Finn does the same. And Finn used to, when he was younger, especially bump his ass off. Guys in Japan and on the indies. And Penta had a new theme here. Guitarist to Tool, I believe. This is what I read.
Totally. What a push.
Mm-hmm.
His other theme was pretty generic, right? But
it was.
And all of a sudden it's like, okay, let's give him something. Little special is okay.
Yeah. And I liked it.
Yeah.
What really happened at the end of this match? McDonough just about won. I thought at the end of the match he was going to win. He would hit that jawbreaker and was going for the moonsault. And I thought he was going to pin Penta, to be honest. But obviously he didn't. You always know when Carlito's on the outside that the member of the Judgment Day is losing the match. So,
yeah. Fucking Carlito.
Yeah. Mexican Destroyer out of nowhere for the win.
Yeah. Sets up Penta, I guess, against going to be Prince Finn Balor. That'll be kind of... I'm excited for that feud just to see what Balor can do.
Well, Penta and Dom are going this Saturday for the IC title.
Yes. So very good. Oh yeah, no, I'm thinking fucking Finn and AJ Styles. I want to see what both those old guys can do.
Yeah, next week. Back to the Japan roots. Maybe we'll see what they can do.
I'm hoping they have a good show, especially with AJ, because he's just a little blocky. I don't know.
Yeah, he's definitely bigger than he was in Japan, and when they first started meeting each other in the ring, right? So
they could be trying for it, and it just turns out like oof.
Then we had a backstage after with Theory and Waller about, Waller admitting he was a bad teammate, and then kind of goes back and forth, and then says, "Oh well, Theory, I got you a singles match. It's a surprise. I thought for sure this was going to be Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was Sheamus."
How long have these two been like kind of oddly breaking up, or at least animosity?
It seems for about 2.5 years.
It feels that way.
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
God.
It just needs to happen, to be honest.
Yeah.
I guess where do they go though? If you break these two up, well, like they can't go anywhere different than they already are. Like they're both doing nothing as right now, but you would think you'd want to maybe keep them together as a tag, since you have Charisma Vacuum's War Raiders.
Yes.
Boring New Day, who is nowhere close to the glory that they used to be. I guess you could have, Finn and JD in there.
Yeah.
American Made should realistically just have those titles.
Yeah, completely agree.
But the Raw tag division is kind of like the thrown into the wayside, if you will, comparatively to the SmackDown one by far, right? So
yeah. And Theory and Waller can work good together. It's just odd when they've been this animosity for so long.
Whether that's does like a directive from Netflix saying they only want singles matches. Maybe they don't think tag wrestling is a thing. Who knows, right? This match was okay, right? Crowd loves Sheamus regardless. Good corn-fed guy for Nebraska there. They bring Sheamus out.
Yeah. He got a good pop.
He did. Match was just very Sheamus-y, but it was a good TV match, I thought.
I was surprised he won, but good for him.
He's a Triple H guy.
Yeah.
A Triple H guy isn't going to do the job for a Vince McMahon guy, not in this era.
Very true.
Next we got where AJ said he was going to hit him and Finn next week. Then we get another Becky and Lyra segment. I thought this was actually very good, to be honest. Becky was like full bitch right here.
Yeah.
And
even her digs on Bailey, right?
Yeah, perfect. Garbage. Called her garbage. She's garbage. I took out the garbage. Everyone's like, oh, great. The garbage has been taken out. I say, hey, look, I took out the garbage. Everybody's like, oh, I can't believe you took out the garbage. That's not what you say when somebody takes out the garbage. You say, thank you for taking out the garbage. It was hilarious. Not only that, I took out the recycling, because that's what Lyra is. She's less offensive than regular garbage, but she's still garbage.
It's refreshing.
I thought it was hilarious. She has to drop the man gimmick or whatever the Tron says, though. Something has. I'm sure her and Seth are probably spitballing ideas on how to change the gimmick up. As they travel from city to city in the bus. I would also hope that Seth's music changes. Although they didn't chant.
No, but Heyman was screaming at the top of his lungs.
He was, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, as his jowls were flapping and he's snorting away. Sounded like an Ultimate Warrior promo.
So bad.
Holy. Lyra comes out and says, you're the queen of recycling. You've been recycling the same moves, the same old act.
Kind of.
Which is true. You just can't stand that everyone went on holidays. When you went on holidays, everyone got better. Lyra, I liked Lyra showed some personality here that,
Yeah.
and in her last promo that I think was lacking. It's still kind of very like, I don't know who's writing it, but it's very safe, I guess. Talking about history, that she was the first US or intercontinental women's, and something Becky doesn't have, right? It's just safe. It's not garbage. It's not a garbage promo, and they're taking out the garbage,
but there was some confidence, which we haven't seen too much before from her with words, anyways. So that was right. Cool.
And then they start brawling. Lyra was fighting a wardrobe malfunction for her life, but it was a good brawl. I thought it seemed like it added a little bit of, although it's not real, but it kind of felt like some real animosity when they were brawling.
Yeah. I think they work good together, like they did in NXT for sure.
They did have good matches. Yeah. So this should be, I think it should be a good match on Saturday. I just hope in hell that Becky doesn't win. Doesn't need to win. There's no scenario that Becky Lynch needs to win the IC title. So
yeah, like lose and snap.
Yeah. Then there's your real gimmick switch. Yeah, boom.
Yeah.
I like Big Time Bex. I thought that was a great heel gimmick when she'd come out dressed as Bowie all the time.
Yeah. That mixed with the personality of, the biggest bitch of them all, that would be great.
Oh, Kyle's mom's a bitch. She's a big fat bitch. She's the biggest bitch in the wide world.
She's a great big bitch. Big fat bitch. I love that song. God.
The golden age of South Park.
Yeah.
Third match of the night. Album. Io Sky, Roxanne Perez.
This is good.
This was a great match. Roxanne is so good.
Yeah. And she owns the little thing, like being tiny. She owns it and she works it good.
But she doesn't work small.
No.
And I've said this multiple times before. I wish more women who are that size, because there's a few of them, could train themselves to use the second rope.
Yeah.
It just
nothing wrong with it.
No, it just fundamentally looks so much better than slowing down to go on your tippy toes to make sure the top rope hits your lats, and then you have no momentum coming back, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, take it from the best small wrestler ever in Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just so much more effective.
Yeah. You're starting that momentum from scratch when you do, like you say, tippy toe up to it.
Exactly.
Like turn around. It's so...
You would think with as much of a mentor as Rey was to Zelina would be doing that.
Yeah.
Or even Liv for that matter, right? Liv's small. Liv's a great worker though.
Yeah.
But right, there's just so many small women. Maybe not so many, but
coming up for sure.
Yeah.
Seems that way. Minus Lash, yeah.
Lash is a big woman. Oh man, she's a force. I would love to see her, in maybe not two, might be He's pushing it. 5 years. Her and Rhea go at it.
That would be a good passing.
Yeah.
Passing of the torch.
Well, fuck, Rhea will only be 30 then.
True, yeah. It's so crazy to think that.
Right?
5 years, she'll still be like easily in her prime if she keeps healthy.
Even before her prime, they've been saying for years. I remember Triple H saying that wrestlers don't hit their prime now till they're like 36.
Yeah.
And just to think, Stone Cold retired at 38. Unbelievable. Lash Legend is older than Rhea Ripley right now.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah. Rhea will break Charlotte's title record for sure. 100%.
Let's hope.
She just has it. But anyways, I love Roxanne going right after Io's legs. I love wrapping the leg around the ring post. I just love it. I wish that they didn't have the big LED things on there so we could see a figure 4 on the ring post again.
Yeah.
But
speaking of releases, Gallus was just on last week's Evolve. Whoops. Yikes.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. There's 3 of them. They ended the show. Whoops. Sorry. Anyways.
I guess the cat is up here now. The best part of this match was the end when they had this bridging pin back and forth, roll up exchange, and Io just got a lucky one, if you will. Okay. Of course, Roxanne goes for the handshake after. Left the ring, and I thought, oh, that's very uncharacteristic. Fooled me. They got me. Julia comes in from behind. And they beat her down again. And nobody comes for the save because Rio wasn't there. So this is actually a match for next week. Rio and Rhea versus those two.
Yeah.
I don't know why Julia is on NXT tonight, fighting for #1 contendership. Did she win?
I don't know. I had to watch Evolve. I was catching up on that to see Swipe Right.
Oh, God.
And they lost. I'm so annoyed. But I don't
Julia
get
and
why
Jordan
Julia wasn't.
Grace.
Did they?
Oh, and Jordan Grace fucking spiked Julia. Unbelievable.
Ooh. I was hoping Asuka or even Kairi Sane were returning. That would have been great. Supposedly Kairi's just buff.
Yeah, I read that.
So that's kind of neat.
Oh, man, you got to look at that clip. She spiked her right on her head. Cat.
That bad, eh?
Ref stopped,
She's okay,
and
though?
Jordan stopped and leaned over.
Oh, no.
Huh.
See, I'm guessing it's all over X right now.
It is, yeah. Fightful's the latest one.
Oh, Elias has returned to WWE, I guess.
Oh, are we going to get... Look too groggy, so that's good. Worked in Japan, she's fine. Cat. Stop
she just wants
getting
to join
closer. I know. The next match, we gotta zip through this here. Next match, Rusev versus Otis. This was what I thought it was going to be for the most part. Rusev dominating Otis for the most part. Not Jordan.
I was a little annoyed Otis got in that much. I don't know why, but I know he's a big guy and a favorite, but
The only
still annoyed
problem
me.
I have with this also too is like, where are we putting Rusev?
Mm-hmm. Like he just beat up a tag guy. Cool.
Yeah, like what is what does this do for Rusev? Who is there to beat Rusev, or for Rusev to beat rather, that gets him to the next level?
The only thing I could see is Rusev runs like shot over everybody, beats the shit out of a bunch of people, and then Bronson Reed comes out, returns, and confronts him. Like, no, I'm the big guy here. Maybe I'm just an idea, because like, what do you do with Rusev? He's kind of done it all.
Yeah, and then I don't think Rusev came back to legit, like realistically win the world title.
No, probably just wanted to wrestle.
Yeah, and if
not be beat by 100-pound guys.
Exactly, and if he should know that if Bronson is the end game, then Bronson ain't doing the job for Rusev. That's for sure.
Yeah. Ooh,
This is a pretty hard hitting match here. These two women are having. She just gave Julia her own finish, so that's holy shit.
Okay, good. One. Did she really? Wow. Okay, yeah. Maybe so. Julia's. See ya. Get on Raw, Julia. Quick.
She's holding her neck though immediately.
Either she's great at selling or something hurts.
Yeah, she could be selling. She probably, like I said, she worked in Japan. Next we had Gunther and Pat McAfee in the ring. Like I said, this should not be a thing. This should not be a pay-per-view match. I said this last week. Yeah. Gunther said, "Tonight, by my grace, you are untouchable, but on Saturday, trust me when I say this, only the grace of God can lift my arms off of your throat." Perfect closing to whatever. Here comes Stephanie now to confront Jordan. And that's how the match should end. Gunther should literally choke Pat McAfee out after drop kick, power bomb, sleeper. Pat McAfee goes to sleep, doesn't tap out. It's College Game Days now, right? Isn't it? Like, yeah. So surely they have to be writing Pat off of TV.
Yeah. So literally choke him out. He's gone for a bit. See ya.
Stephanie is a babe. All right.
And then we can have our great Corey Graves back.
Yeah. I like him. or Wade. Put Corey up with Mike Adamley or whatever his name is. Joe Macaroni.
Joe
Tessitore.
All right, guys, it's a great night here. He's so enthusiastic. I love it.
We'll just kind of zip through this main event here. I will say that this match was Pro Wrestling 101, this main event. From the match itself to the storytelling, even Jay was excellent in this match. From Paul to the outside, to the run-in of Punk, to the didn't Sammy come? Sammy came out too. It was perfect.
Breaker's just killer. Yeah, like great dynamic, like good scene too on Raw.
It was, yeah.
So
and cool Breaker is fantastic. He legitimately is the face of this business right now.
Yeah.
And I loved the callback to his dad's singles run jacket.
Yeah.
He had spray painted. I'm sure he's worn it
Chucky.
before, but I just seen it. Yeah, versus Chuck Palumbo. I'm sure he's worn the jacket before, but I noticed it more predominantly yesterday.
He looks badass in there, though.
He does, yeah. Him and Paul. Oh man, I howled when Pat mentioned. Good to see Braun and Paul out here back from their trip to the sun or something. He said, "Man, I howled."
He did say that. He did say something. Yeah, it's true, man. They're cooked.
This spot has happened a lot too, especially with Roman, where he goes for the spear and Seth catches him in the pedigree. I just love the way that looked. But Seth even had a different what would the word be? Just a very different pace to how he was. He was still hitting his stuff, but he had this deliberate I am the fucking man kind of of pace to from moving to spot, right? Really selling the story of what, his gimmick, of what this faction is. I don't think they really have a name for it yet.
Not that I know of, but he is at that god level. He's acting like he's at that god level.
You know what? It's funny. Seth was already, for my money, probably the second best wrestler in the promotion. Gunther still is the best wrestler in this promotion from a professional wrestling standpoint, but somehow Paul has made Seth a bigger star than he already was.
Yeah.
And has really
has.
This has really pushed Braun to, almost an equal level of Seth, of CM Punk, right? I guess time will tell with Roman. I don't think Roman can carry himself as a solo babyface, to be honest.
No.
You can only ride Acknowledge Me for so long until you get turned on again.
Yeah. It seems like it's already a challenge for him, even to keep the fans' attention.
It is, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you're right. Braun was right up there, man. He fit in so well with those top guys. I loved it.
He did, right? And I don't know why it hasn't been announced yet. Maybe it has at last hour, but why, like I said, Seth and Braun aren't in a tag against, Sammy and Jay or Sammy and Punk or something for Backlash, because the card is the shits.
It really is for a PLE. I'm looking at it like, yikes. I have to, watch that, I guess.
Right? Like I'll probably watch the replay, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to take time out of my Saturday to watch Gunther and
Cena matches, right? Oh.
Yeah, and the Cena thing is like, we know what's going to happen. Randy hasn't literally done a clean job since when? When's the last time Randy did a clean job?
I couldn't even tell you. And then
it has to be in like the 2010s. Maybe even before that, like Evolution days. I legitimately cannot remember the last time Randy has done a clean job.
Did he to Bray, like in their feud? I know Randy got the upper hand.
In the Firefly match? No, Randy won that.
Yeah, Randy won, but in between, didn't Bray get the upper hand for like one little bit?
I don't think he got a clean win though. Like I don't think it was.
Probably. Worms probably fell or something. Who knows?
Yeah, worm distraction.
So, and
right?
Cena's
unless you consider the I Quit match a clean job, because he had to say I quit, but
just eating a pin.
Right, yeah, just a clean pin, I should say.
You're right. I don't remember. I couldn't tell you.
Hunter in like 06?
Could you imagine if it's that far?
Or did they make Kali fucking pin him clean?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, he did lose against. Didn't he lose that Punjabi prison match against Jinder? But that was interference. Let's be honest.
Let's see if ChatGPT can answer this question. When was the last time Randy Orton was pinned clean? And I mean clean. Otis apparently pinned Randy clean when him and Riddle lost the tag titles. I don't think Randy took the pin against Otis.
What? Oh boy. Oh boy. Was that a punishment for sticking up for Riddle? Hey, you want to stick up for this guy? You're taking the loss.
See, I'll say I don't think Randy took that pin.
Yikes.
Otis did pin Randy Orton. Holy shit.
Vile. Good for Otis, world champ. Coming up.
Okay, when was the last clean pin before that? Apparently, February 14th, 2014.
Oh, wow. Who was that against? That had to be someone ridiculous.
Cesaro.
Okay.
It was a non-title belt. Randy was the champ.
Give Cesaro a little push, I guess. Get him to that title match. Maybe that's when they did try and push him when Stone Cold was like, what about the brass ring for that guy?
Somehow, now there's contradicting things. Let's look at this thing. Yeah. We'll end on this Randy Orton. Apparently, this is telling me that it's contradicting itself here and says, at Payback on August 2020, Keith Lee defeated Randy Orton cleanly in over just 6 minutes. That can't be. Cat, get out of the window, please. Thank you.
How much is that, kitty? That sounds like a horrible match, too. Just the two styles.
Payback 2020.
Everyone who loves
Keith Lee. I can't imagine
Lee,
Randy ever saying, yeah, I'll do the job for Keith Lee.
Yeah. I just was never a big fan. Maybe I'm wrong, but I never liked it.
What Keith Lee defeated Randy Orton by pinfall.
Wow.
Huh. According to this, it's a clean win.
No shenanigans. There you go. Keith Lee, Jesus. There's a guy who hasn't been on TV for ages either, I guess. Heart or whatever issue.
This was the pay-per-view where Roman started his 4-year reign.
Okay. His Roman reign.
This was at the Thunderdome as well. You'll recall that pleasant era of the world.
All the little faces. That was great.
That being said, though, like I said, perfect main event. Thanks, Kat, for stepping over everything.
What do you think, Flo?
Yeah, and just Breaker's a star, Seth is a star, Punk is a star, Jay is something, Sami Zayn is something, right? They're stars still, but
totally made Braun right up there. That was great.
Yeah, I think they've probably put Logan Paul and Jey Uso on hold because there is so much that they can do with this faction, with the baby faces. But you have to think if they're going to add Roman, you've got Punk, you've got Sammy, you've got Jay, right? These are heavy hitters. They got to add another guy here. Who better than Jeff Cobb? Who better than Jeff Cobb? Although, if you think about the other side and who's taking the pin, who's going to eat the pins for the baby faces, it's obviously Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want Jeff Cobb coming in and taking the pins is all.
No, that's true. Build him up for sure first. He works great as a heel, though, too.
Yeah, you need a pin eater. You need a heel pin eater. Who would that be?
Geez, even Cobb on the other side. Why not?
Yeah.
Who would, you'd debut him somehow with Heyman, or Heyman being like, I've looked all over the world for our next, I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Rosters
like, who you could give that trio of guys, who's a heel, who's a solid hand, who it wouldn't hurt to literally be the guy that eats the pins in like the tag mat, like 6-man tags and whatever it is that they're gonna do.
Yeah. It's just weird if they just keep it to 2 guys. I find that very strange if they do.
They can't. Yeah, there's no way. But anyways, that's the show for today. Release news, a little hypothetical fantasy booking, a little bit of a Raw review. If you like what you hear, if you like what you listen, please like, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, do whatever you want. Comment however you want. Comment who you think the next guy in the faction of the Dangerous Alliance should be. Comment what you want Logan Paul to do. Comment where Karrion Kross is and when we can. There's a pin eater.
Hey.
And it ain't going to hurt him if he keeps doing his online shit.
No, Paul and that would be very interesting though with 2 managers.
Well, you kind of had 2 with Dangerous Alliance. Medusa was a manager at that point.
True. So Scarlett and Paul, that way he would just be staring at her all the time, like, ooh, yeah, I could see that. Like it.
And then you could have Kross break out of it and, become that big baby face, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much for listening. Catch you next week for hopefully not any more releases, but roster is pretty thick, so you never know.
So thick.
Have a good night. Catch you next week.